Fear is a natural, powerful emotion, one Nelson Mandela described as not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Many of us feel fear when facing challenges, whether it's a big exam, a business pitch, or a new adventure. But what if we could use that fear instead of being paralyzed by it? In fact, neuroscience shows that fear triggers an adrenaline rush that sharpens our focus and energy. The legendary FDR even said, "The only thing we have to fear is fear itself," reminding us that fear often limits us more than reality. Today we'll explore how fear works in the brain and how reframing it can turn it into fuel for success. We'll hear from science, from inspiring real people, and learn practical tips, all in a motivational, easy-to-follow way. Fear. It's something we've all felt. That heart-pounding, sweaty-palmed feeling in the pit of your stomach when you face something unknown. But here's the secret. Fear is not just a roadblock. It can be rocket fuel. Biology shows that when we're scared, our brain dumps norepinephrine, a stress neurotransmitter, into our system, an adrenaline rush that actually primes us to act. It makes our senses sharper, our muscles stronger, our focus laser-like. The famous Yerkes-Dodson law in psychology tells us that a moderate amount of arousal or stress can improve performance. Think of it as an inverted U-curve, where a bit of fear equals more energy. So yes, fear can make us perform better, up to a point. Now, we all know fear feels bad, so how do we harness that energy? Neuroscience has an answer. Our brain's alarm system, the amygdala, kicks in when we're threatened, pumping out adrenaline, norepinephrine, to get us ready to run or fight. Think of it like flipping on a spotlight. William Tasker at Tulane explains, if you are held up at gunpoint, your brain secretes norepinephrine, akin to an adrenaline rush, switching the brain to a state of high alert. That's why you remember scary events so vividly. Fear etches memories for survival. But here's the twist. That same rush can be redirected. Because adrenaline heightens attention and cognition, we can actually use it to power through tough challenges. It's like having a free turbo boost, if we know how to steer it. Science also tells us how to interpret this adrenaline. Harvard neuroscientist Alison Brooks found that reframing fear as excitement can make us perform even better. In her experiments, people who said, "I'm excited," to themselves before a stressful task felt more excited and performed better than those trying to calm down. Why? Because excitement and fear actually feel very similar in the body. Both are high arousal states. They're both adrenaline charged. The only difference is how our mind labels it. Brooks's insight. Positive framing turns anxiety into opportunity. In other words, our mindset is the key. This isn't just theory. It works in real life. Countless people have turned fear into fuel. Consider entrepreneurs and creators. Steve Jobs admitted he once lay in bed paralyzed by a terror of public speaking, but he faced it and eventually delivered the iconic launch presentations Apple is famous for. Oscar-winning author J.K. Rowling was afraid that her Harry Potter manuscript would be rejected, yet she persisted and created something magical. World-changing leaders did the same. Do one thing every day that scares you, Eleanor Roosevelt urged. Feel the fear and do it anyway, taught Susan Jeffers, a best-selling psychologist. Malcolm Gladwell notes that Michael Jordan, after missing a championship shot, said, "I can accept failure, but I can't accept not trying." Or look at history's heroes. Nelson Mandela defied fear of imprisonment to end apartheid. Martin Luther King overcame fear of persecution to lead millions for civil rights. Malala Yousafzai risked her life to fight for girls' education. They all used their fear as motivation. Joseph Campbell captured it well. The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure you seek. In sports and academics, students and athletes often report that a bit of adrenaline made them perform at their peak. And business giants like Elon Musk push forward despite the fear of failure. He treated every SpaceX rocket launch as adrenaline-charged learning. So how can you tap into this? Start small. When a scary task appears, label it as excitement. Say to yourself, "This is an adventure," or "I'm pumped to try this." Even simple self-talk, "I can do this," activates the same pathways that excitement does. Gradual exposure helps too. If public speaking terrifies you, volunteer to say just a few sentences first. As Dale Carnegie famously said, "Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage." Every time you do the thing that scares you, even a little, you rewire your brain. The more you act, the less power fear has. Over time, you'll notice the old fear responses fading. Another tip is to focus on purpose rather than pain. If a project or goal truly matters to you, your passion can override fear. Remind yourself why you want it. Maybe it's to help others, learn something new, or achieve a dream. That creates a positive fire that makes fear feel worthwhile. You might also physically channel the fear energy. Exercise or deep breathing can transform stress hormones into helpful energy. And remember the 5-second rule from motivational coach Mel Robbins. When you feel hesitation, count down 5 to 4, -3, -2, -1, and move into action. This interrupts the fear loop and lets your instinct take over. In summary, fear is normal and powerful, but it doesn't have to stop you. Neuroscience teaches us that the adrenaline from fear can make you sharper. Psychology shows that framing that arousal as excitement boosts performance. History proves that brave people take that step despite fear and find success. The next time you feel afraid, acknowledge it. Then ask yourself, how can I use this? Each act of courage rewrites your inner story. If this resonates, subscribe for more motivational insights and share your own story. Try the fear to excitement hack. Pick one small fear today. Maybe speaking up in class, trying a new sport, or starting a conversation. And do it with a smile, telling yourself, "I'm excited." Notice how it feels. Comment below what you're turning into fuel. Remember, action conquers fear. As Dale Carnegie put it, action breeds confidence and courage. So go ahead, turn that fear into fuel. Chase your goals, and remember, courage doesn't mean you feel no fear. It means you do it anyway.